And first of all, just to preface it, I don't think there's ever a ending point. Just like with anything you master. How long does it take to actually master sales? We're going to be jamming on this topic today and a whole lot more. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Taylor Armstrong. We're here to help you get better at sales, get a whole lot more leads and referrals, and have a much better time in the solar industry. Hope you are getting a ton of sales right now. And this topic, it's something that's very interesting. Got me thinking about it. Some of you know I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Been training about 3.5 years now. And something that happened, if you are in jiu-jitsu, you probably know about this if you train jiu-jitsu. But there's a guy, his name's Derek Moneyberg. He got his black belt in 3.5 years. And I'm like, man, I wonder how long it takes to get your black belt in sales, so to speak. Right. But the reason it caused such an outrage in jiu-jitsu is because this guy, he's like a financial guru type guy. He basically developed this all-star team that just trained him. He had some legends such as Jake Shields, Frank Mir, Lyoto Machida, Glover Teixeira, I think I'm saying that right. Bunch of like UFC guys, just legends in the sport, were training him. But he didn't start training until he was like 42 years old. He's already an older guy. He doesn't look that athletic or in shape. It drew a lot of criticism because there's no way. Even the best of the best, there's guys like BJ Penn that got his black belt about the same amount of time. But Derek Moneybergs, he's just this guy that paid a bunch of these UFC fighters to go train him. And there's a whole lot of other things. Like he didn't have any footage of him. They call it rolling, right? It's when you're like sparring with other people. He doesn't have really any footage of all of him rolling with other guys. And he's done basically all private training. It's not class structure. And, like one of the best ways to learn jiu-jitsu is you train with other people and you have it in a class structure because that's how you test the stuff if it actually works. And for him, he's paying these people thousands and thousands of dollars to train him, getting the highest level instruction, but he's not really testing the skills on other people. So it just raised some eyebrows. I don't know if this guy's a legit black belt. Who knows? I don't think we'll ever know until we see him actually tested. But you can't argue he did have some of the best instruction in the world. And this guy, he does like financial mastermind type things. So guy's got money. But so that's the backstory. And that's what got me thinking about how long does it take to actually master sales? So I want to go through a few things that I believe will help you actually master sales. And first of all, just to preface it, I don't think there's ever an ending point. Just like with anything you master, the best in any skill, they're always learning. And that's no different in sales. I've been in this since 2012, I guess, is when I started my first summer of door-to-door sales in pest control. And since then, it's been constantly learning, continuous learning. So if you think there's going to be an ending point, hate to burst your bubble, but there's not really an ending point. If you really want to master sales, then you got to be willing to study the craft till the day you die, right? That's what the best of the best do. You got to be obsessed with it, right? Grant Cardone says, be obsessed or be average. And that's really what it takes to master anything. Hey, and so that's, I would say the first point, just be willing to always continuously learn the art of sales. There's no stopping point. There's things like one of the first books I read in sales is Psychology of Sales by Brian Tracy. And he talks about this whole concept of making your car a library on wheels. So that means there's some people out there. Actually saw a post from a buddy of mine that's in sales, and I think he posted like a reel on Instagram, and he talked about like, oh, this is one of the best things that people should do. You should listen to all the music. He posted a reel of all the music he listens to when he's driving. And the first thing I thought of, and it's not that it's a bad thing to listen to music from time to time, but first thing I thought of is if you are in sales, you should be listening to audiobooks, to YouTube University, to podcasts, this podcast, right? Hopefully this is the first on your list. But you should be listening to these things way more than you should be listening to Taylor Swift on Spotify, okay? Because Taylor Swift, she ain't going to make you money. But this podcast is. And audiobooks, stuff on YouTube, these things, they can literally change your life. But you got to be willing to make the sacrifice. Cut out the distractions, cut out the noise, and develop that habit of making your car a library on wheels. Okay, just be careful. Actually, the day I recorded this podcast, rear-ended someone today, and partly it was because I was trying to find some content on YouTube, was trying to find some sales stuff on YouTube to listen to. And this guy, I'd say it was like half his fault, because we're turning onto a main road. We're at a light. He starts going, and then he's behind a truck. The light's turning yellow. He's going for it. But then all of a sudden, mid intersection, he decided, I'm not going to go for it anymore. He stops. I run rear end him. And that was that. Luckily, could have been a lot worse. Just left a tiny dent, little scratch on his back bumper. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. So shout out, I think his name was Mr. Young He, Asian guy. So shout out to Young. You're the OG. Thank you for not calling the cops on me. And I promise I'll pay better attention on the road. I'll stop checking my YouTube. Okay, but side note, so that is the first point. Devote yourself to continuous learning. Always learn while you're in the car and make that a priority. Continuously learning, going to events, hiring coaches, all these things that are super important in your sales journey. Okay, number 2 is specific training. Okay, going back to jiu-jitsu, one of the ways that the top jiu-jitsu guys progress is they do something called situational drilling. And that is, you're not just like going out there and freestyling whatever. You're starting in a specific manner. In jiu-jitsu, you have positions like mounts. You have positions like turtle. You have positions where you're starting on your feet, wrestling. Okay, and so there's all these different positions that you need to master. And the best guys, they're starting in these positions and they're mastering them. Okay, because if you just do continuous rolling, if you just start freestyle, do that all the time, then it's going to be hard to master the specific things. Just like in jiu-jitsu, we need to have the situational drilling for sales. Okay, what do I mean by that? First of all, figure out what you need to improve, right? Is it closing? Is it setting? Is it getting appointments to sit? Is it getting your deals to stick? Getting your deals to install? Is it getting referrals? And the way you know what you need to improve is you track, you measure, and adjust. Okay, I talk about recording yourself all the time. That's a good way. But how about going through your stats and looking, hey, maybe I'm getting a ton of sales, but wow, my install ratio is not great. Okay, and personally, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm getting a lot of sales, but my installs aren't where I want them to be. So figure out for you, what is it? Okay, start tracking your stats if you're not already, but track how many appointments you're getting, how many hours you're knocking, how many sales you're getting, how many appointments are sitting. Once you start doing this, you can see, okay, I need to improve on these parts. And that's when you can start situational drilling. Okay, our team, we have correlations every Tuesdays and Fridays. We have a setter and a closer, separate training. We separate them out. But it's funny, sometimes I look around the room. I go to the closers training most of the time. I'll go to setters sometimes, but I look around sometimes at the closers training and I'm like, man, some of these people, they're not even sitting in appointments. So really, I don't think they should be here. They should be in the setting training because they're not setting appointments. Why are you practicing closing if you're not getting enough appointments? Okay, granted, it could be work ethic. Maybe they're just not working enough. But figure out what you need to improve on, make the adjustments, drill it, do your situational training just like you would in jiu-jitsu. And that's going to be a key way for you to get better in sales. Okay, and then last but not least is just have the belief. We just finished up a blitz up in NorCal, pretty decent blitz. I think a few things we could have done better, but ended the week with 5 sales. And most of our team that was up there got at least a deal. Can't complain. But there was one guy that did the blitz with us who we could tell he was just getting down on himself. He's a newer setter. And if he's listening to this, shout out to him. But he was getting down on himself during the week. And as the week went on, we could just see his belief go down. That, I don't think I'm going to get a sell this week. It was just in his body language. You could see it. He didn't have to say it, but just in his body language, you could just tell he was down. He didn't have any belief. And then it came around to the last day, and I remember we had, like 5 hours before our flight. So we're all getting out there for the last hour or two just to hit it, see if we can rip any same days. And I'm trying to hype up our guys a little bit. I'm like, hey, who's going to get out there? Who's getting the first appointment? Who's going to get the same day? And, this individual, he's a little down. He's still down, you could tell. And so I start asking him, hey, bro, let's go. You going to get out there, get a same day? And his response was just like, no, probably not. And I'm like, dude, if you if you think you're not going to get it, that's not going to happen. Right. So sometimes that's what we need in sales. Hey, before we master sales, we need to believe that we are great. Right. I think it's Brian Tracy says every master was once a disaster. Maybe it's Zig Ziglar. But even if you're not the greatest, you need to believe you're great. You need to believe you can go out and get sales. Hey, I was telling this guy, hey, do you think Kobe went out on the court thinking we're down too much? We're down 5. There's no way we can come back. There's no way I can hit the game-winning shot. No, he had insane belief. Okay, and he was one of the best in the world. But the people that I've seen do great in sales, they believe they're great before maybe they are. Right? And I'm not saying you have to be all like cocky and just talk down on other people, because there's those type of people too, right? That they think they're the best and they're kind of, a dick to other people. But have humility and be confident, right? I think there's a difference between confidence and being, stuck up, cocky, all that. I think you can be humble and have confidence, okay? And if you do that, you're going to progress at a level, and you're going to notice that sometimes even if you don't have the skills, you can go out and get deals. So these things, they're 3 crucial things you need in order to master sales in 2025 and beyond. Okay, and last thing I'll say, so answer the question, how long does it take to master sales? So my opinion is this. I think if you study, if you apply yourself, if you apply the continuous learning, I think you really can become a master in sales in 5 years, right? If you apply these things, right? If you're continuously learning, just my opinion. But another thing is, I think in order to get to a level where you're proficient, I think it's 3 months. Okay, so some people that are newer, listen to this podcast. Maybe you're in your first month in sales. Maybe you're getting down on yourself. Maybe you're about to quit. Give it a full 3 months of just all out hustle, all out learning, application. If you do that, I think it's almost impossible that you're not going to have success. You're not going to get a deal in those first 3 months. I think you can get a deal, rather. Okay. But even if you don't, I always tell our new guys, give it 3 months. Treat those 3 months as just like training. Any deals you get, that's a bonus. Right? And everyone should get a deal in 3 months. Okay, but just really treat the 3 months as your learning period. So don't get down on yourself if you're having a terrible week. Don't beat yourself up. Don't quit. Give it 3 months. And I think that's how long it takes to get at least to a proficient level, where if you apply yourself after 3 months, you should be able to have just, confidence that you can at least get consistent deals. Okay, so I hope this helps someone out there. 5 years to master sales. Yeah, and I still think I'm getting there. I don't know if I've mastered sales. I've been doing this, 13 years now? Okay, so sometimes I feel brand new. That's just how it goes. So even 5 years, still keep learning, right? Okay, send this to someone that maybe needs a little confidence boost. Maybe someone that needs to master sales, that wants to just figure out how to achieve their potential. Hope that helps you. Please send me your guest suggestions. Send me your topic suggestions. We still are needing more guests to come on the show, so would love to hear anyone that's producing at a high level or doing something different or interesting in the solar world. Hey, so hit me up. Love to hear from you, either social media or Taylor at solarpreneur.com. Love to hear from you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.